Well, the Biden administration has been looking for a puppet, a government, to do the bidding of invading Haiti on its behalf, looking for someone to lead this invasion. And now it appears the country of Kenya has announced that it will do Washington's bidding. Redacted correspondent Dan Cohen is going to break it all down for us. Dan, good to see you.
You too, Clayton. So basically, Antony Blinken made clear earlier in July that the U.S. is looking for someone to do the job. Here it is in Voice of America, not exactly Russian propaganda. U.S. actively seeking leader for Haiti force, Blinken says. So now Blinken has gotten his wish. He's got to be thrilled with the announcement. Alfred Mutua, the Kenyan foreign minister, announced that at the request of the Friends of Haiti group of nations, whatever that is, I don't know what the Friends of Haiti group of nations is, but he wrote this on Twitter. Kenya has accepted to positively consider leading a multinational force to Haiti. That will consist of 1,000 police officers, he says, to lead what has been branded as a multinational effort to reinforce the Haitian National Police. Now, Mutua says the Kenyan police will deploy an assessment mission within the next few weeks to determine the mandate and operational requirements of the mission. Blinken's puppet prime minister in Haiti, Ariel Henry, who was never elected, he was selected by the United States, and he also happens to be a top suspect in the murder of President Jovenel Moïse in July 2021. He was also very happy with the announcement. He called it an excellent development. So this entire arrangement, this invasion, is contingent upon the UN Security Council approving plans pushed forward by the United States and the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to invade Haiti. So on July 14th, the Security Council unanimously approved a resolution calling on Guterres to outline the full range of support options the United Nations can provide to enhance the security situation. These include additional training for the Haitian National Police, support for a United Nations multinational force, or a possible peacekeeping operation. So sort of all options are on the table. If that multinational force is approved, Kenya would apparently be the primary contingent of personnel. But it's not the only African country to announce its support for a Haiti invasion. Paul Kagame, the dictator of Rwanda, who's a very close ally of the United States and Israel, he said that on July 5th, he said that he would send his forces. The Caribbean countries of the Bahamas, Barbados, and Jamaica have also pledged their support for an invasion. And what's really amazing about this, Clayton, the Kenyan foreign minister, in his announcement, I'm going to quote him directly. He says that Kenya stands with persons of African descent across the world, including those in the Caribbean, and aligns with the African Union's diaspora policy and our own commitment to Pan-Africanism, and in this case, to reclaiming of the Atlantic crossing. So it's like propaganda to portray this invasion, which is very clearly an initiative of the United States, as some kind of act of solidarity among Africans and African diaspora, and is even a rebuke to the African slave trade. Keep in mind, the Haitian Revolution initiated the collapse of slavery in the West. So that's who they want to invade. And Antony Blinken is just gathering African leaders and Black leaders in the Caribbean to do it for him, to carry out this invasion. So the irony is just over the top. At the same time, there's an effort to ramp up propaganda domestically in support of this Haiti invasion. This is from Ian Bremmer, the liberal interventionist think tanker.
This clearly is a case where the G7 as a whole, plus concerned members of the Global South, need to come together and actually have a peacekeeping force, need to be providing a level of rule of law and accountability, and also need to shine a light on this issue. And frankly, the only way that's going to happen is much more pressure. I know a friend of mine, Richard Engel from NBC, is planning on going over there and starting some coverage soon. I think that will be helpful. The major mainstream media on the left, on the right, in the US and internationally, needs to be sending more correspondents.
Clayton, I don't know if you remember back in 2012, Richard Engel, the NBC correspondent, he was actually kidnapped in Syria for 5 hours, not for very long, but it was by a faction of the Free Syrian Army, the CIA trained like mercenary groups. And then he and NBC blamed his kidnapping on the Syrian government, the enemy of the US. They completely falsified it. The New York Times even reported about it. So that's the guy who's about to go pump out some war propaganda in Haiti.
It's amazing because you literally have Ian Bremmer saying, hey, correspondents, journalists from these major media organizations that we usually lean on, the Washington Post, the New York Times, the Associated Press, to foist propaganda on people, get ready. Get ready to deploy journalists to Haiti to start covering this on our behalf, is basically what they're saying. And then this week, we also have the United States ordering non-essential embassy families and personnel to get out of Haiti. So they're laying the groundwork for this.
Exactly. And there's also a kidnapping that just reportedly took place of an American aid worker and her daughter, I believe, in Haiti, which I'm not saying it didn't happen, but there is a lot of speculation that those kinds of kidnappings are planned, premeditated as pretext for the U.S. to carry out this invasion. Like there has to be some kind of humanitarian mission. And again, there's no proof of that, but that sort of speculation always exists. And in, what was it, in 2021, I believe, might have been 2022, there were 17 North American missionaries, 16 Americans and 1 Canadian, who were kidnapped by a group called the 400 Maozo, a criminal armed group. And, you know, you had like Adam Kinzinger and these fanatical neocons going out into the media and saying, we have to, you know, our military has to, you know, be ready to go in there and carry out some strike. And there was speculation then too. So the timing is a little bit, I don't know, interesting,
Suspect.
I'll say, of this
Right.
latest kidnapping. I'm not saying it's not completely real or, you know, that these people were not genuinely, legitimately kidnapped, but you know, can't help but wonder. You know, to your point about Ian Bremmer saying explicitly that we need to basically send in correspondents to manufacture support consent for war. It's the same thing that the U.S. ambassador, the former U.S. ambassador to Haiti, Pamela White, wrote in the Washington Post last year in December of 2022. She wrote that the media, especially televised media, should report on Haiti's crises, show gang brutality, highlight people clinging to rafts made from rotted wood, make videos of dehydrated, choleric children fighting to live. We need to send in 2,000 armed law enforcers who can protect the people attempting to deliver aid. So, I mean, she's very explicit in her description of what exactly she wants the mainstream media to broadcast in order to get domestic support for this Haiti invasion. So they're just going to broadcast horrible, sad images to tug at the heartstrings of liberals who will, you know, go in and who will watch this and say, oh, we have to go in and fix this. Meanwhile, it's fundamentally, Haiti's problems are fundamentally caused by the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we've seen from the Facebook files and the Twitter files, Jim Jordan's Facebook files last week and the Twitter files from Elon Musk, exactly how the Biden administration loves to assert its media muscle on these companies. I'll get you out of here on this, Dan, which is this Voice of America piece that you're talking about. The headline of this reads, Haiti welcomes Kenyan offer to lead multinational force. When it says Haiti welcomes this invasion, who in Haiti specifically is welcoming this?
Yeah, I mean, they're purely talking about the de facto regime of Ariel Henry and they're quoting the foreign minister, Jean Genéus. But Ariel Henry is the prime minister only because he was anointed by the core group led by the United States, the core group, United States, France, Canada, the kind of neo-colonial masters of Haiti. He was never elected. He's not an elected official. He was never put to a vote. And, you know, there's talk about elections. So when they say Haiti, they say our puppet. It's like, you know, the little puppet on the string says, oh, yes, thank you for, you know, offering to send your troops. Very much appreciate that. That's who they're talking about.
Right, exactly. Well, we were wondering when this invasion was happening. It's probably happening while President Biden is asleep on the beach for the next 10 days, and he has the Kenyans to do his bidding for him. Dan Cohen in Washington for us. Great to have you back. Thanks so much, Dan.
Thanks a lot, Clayton.
Thank you so much for watching this segment here at Redacted. We are live every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, trying to share the stories that the mainstream media will not cover. You should also come over and join our community of Redacted Rebels over at redacted.inc. That's our private locals community where we can share exclusive content that we simply cannot share here on YouTube. Come over and join the rebellion together right now by going to redacted.inc. We'll see you next time.